And I'm going to be opening fire on that unit in the trees at H8. So I'll just make a roll here. No, that's a miss for that one. Rolling again on a proficiency check for the unit just to the right of the weapons team. Charles, I'm just checking a rule about I failed my morale check to fire, and I know it's not revealed. The unit isn't revealed, but I believe. Oh yeah, no, it is marked as used. Stand by. And a 5 isn't going to do it because you've got the cover of the trees, and you've got the decoy. So you add 2 to my roll. So that isn't going to work, so I have to mark that unit used, and then I'm going to actually pass it over to you at this point. That's 3 I've used.
So I marked 3 units for opportunity fire. And your turn.
A little bit bold here again, just to work on some of the mechanics. Let me. I'm going to make a couple of moves first, and stop, and then I'm going to try a bold move, dash out into the open. Actually, I'll take that back. That's my 2. I've got the operations range from 2 to 5, so go ahead.
Did you just mark units as used?
Both those units moved up 1 and they finished their turn.
Okay. One, 2, 3. Your turn.
Okay, the far left-hand unit I'm just making a roll for. Which was successful, so he's going to actually fire directly ahead of him into that house on the left-hand side, B6. So I'll make a roll here and see if I can get anything decently rolled. That's not decently rolled. That's not going to work. I'm actually going to do the same thing with the unit beside it as well, the one between the 2 at C2.
C7, you mean? Or
no, the one on at my C2 to your C7.
oh, okay.
The first number. The first number I rolled was the 7, so I can go ahead and do that operation. I just rolled a 1. So if I add the modifier for the hit concealed, that's 2, and for the wooden building, that's 3. So against my 6 firepower for that unit. So I don't believe that's going to... oh no, the 3 actually does... I think the 3 actually... if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the 3 now... oh, hang on one second. So I've got, the way I figure is the roll of 1 against the decoy in the wooden house is 3. And if that's one of your, if that's not a decoy, that's actually going to be flipped over and actually double suppressed or decoy removed in C7. And that's my 2, so go ahead. And that was a lucky shot.
Yes, it is. And 1 is always good. Alright, this unit here is going to roll. He passes. 1. 2, 3. And he will fire. If he fires, does he lose his decoy marker?
If he successfully passes that proficiency check to fire, yes, he does.
Okay, so it's got to be a 6 or better. Alright, rolling. Oh, no pass.
Yeah, so he's fine, he doesn't get revealed.
I thought you... oh, if he successfully passes, he's revealed.
Yeah, that's right. If he gets off that shot successfully, that's why I had to reveal that 1 American unit. Because he did actually get his shot away, you know, miss or hit. He actually got the shot off fine. Now next turn, if your unit in C7 backs up out of the house to C6, you can, you don't have to, but you may put that concealed marker back on it again.
Okay. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I'm the unit behind the weapons team that fired. I'm actually going to move him out in the open. So if you want to op fire, let me know as I'll stop. I'll announce the move, and then you can say yay or nay. That's 1.
Stop. I think it's D8 I'm going to fire from. Diagonally up to the left in the building.
Yeah, D7. Yeah, I'd say that's in line of sight. Sure.
I tell you what, I'm not going to shoot for right now. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Here's 2. That's 2.
Okay, I'll use a command action point to fire from the unit that's used in the building. So a final opportunity fire from here.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the chit, so I'll mark that as used after I'm done. Alright, so I'm going to roll my morale. And I'm good.
It's actually a proficiency roll for final op fire.
Okay, so it's 9 minus 4. I'm saying it wrong. 10 minus 4 is 6, so I had to roll a 6 or better?
Proficiency is your dice roll plus your proficiency against your morale.
Okay, I did not get that. Okay, you can proceed.
That's 3.
Okay, go ahead.
I move into the building for 4 and 5.
Okay, opportunity fire. From row F7, I believe. So proficiency check. I'm sorry, morale check. Okay, there. And so I need to roll a 4 or better. You're in a building which is 2, so a 2 or better.
Okay, just give me one sec so your opportunity firing from F7 into that square. So hang on one sec.
Yep, so the building's 2 plus your decoy. And also, since you moved within my line of sight, do you lose that decoy?
It's a proficiency check to do the op fire rather than a I think you passed it anyway. Do I lose the decoy? Oh, sorry, I was out in the open. Yeah, hang on one sec. Yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't have it the window focused. Yeah, so I believe it's a proficiency check, but I'm flipping back and forth between screens. Just give me one more sec.
No problem.
So it's against your morale, a dice roll against your morale, but you made that roll of 4, is that right?
That's correct.
And your proficiency is going to be 4, so it'll be 8. So your morale is probably 10. So yeah, so you're good to go. So you get the fire off. So you have to reveal the counter, but we don't know whether you hit or not. This will be your next roll for the hit. If I had been in the open, adjacent to you, or you'd been marked for op fire, when you made that proficiency roll, you would have taken 1 off of the roll. just for cumulatively for those three things.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and make that next roll.
Nope. So he's marked as used, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, and I just marked my marker as used because that was only my first of my ops range. I'm also just looking to see if I'm not mistaken, the unit in D7, I believe is revealed, but I'm not sure. I'm just looking at when you reveal hidden units. I know it's adjacent, but I don't know about the building affecting it. I'm just checking that.
Yeah, I believe you're right. So it does go away. And it was a decoy.
Yeah, and that is correct. It doesn't say anything. If it's in my line of sight, it gets removed, and since you're in the building next to me, I can see into it, apparently, so, yeah. Okay, I still have to move a second unit, though, here, so it'll be the unit at the back in H2.
Okay.
So if I'm not mistaken, that was 3. Climbing over the hedge and breaking in through the guy's windows, that's 3.
Okay.
I'm actually just I'm stopping in the house. I realized that I still don't know what's in those trees over there on the right-hand side, so I'm going to play it safe. So that's my 2 operations range, and I think I wouldn't even bother, unless you want to move that 1 unit in C5, we can just sort of end the turn, go to turn 2.
Okay, so no point in even rolling a route phase or the route phase for that unit?
One sec. For which unit?
The fully suppressed unit. Oh, when you said next turn,
no,
you weren't talking about. When you said next turn, you weren't talking about the next turn, were you?
Yeah, because the route only happens if I'm adjacent. You're in an open hex within 5 hexes of line of sight of one of my units. I didn't think suppression was was part of a route.
So since he's in cover, he does not have to do a route check.
Yeah, that's correct. So as I said, I was just saying, unless you want to do something with C5, I mean, there's no point in even marking them used. We can just do the sweep and move it to game to 2, unless you want to actually, roll and move them somewhere.
Nope. Let's do the sweep. Do you want to do the honors? Awesome.
And there you go. You're back. Yep. So I have to move first again, but again, I have to give you that opportunity to, you can pull that command point off, and if you wanted to, you could actually, use one of your units before I started going.
I would like to do that, please. Okay, so the suppressed unit, I want to use a command point and try to get him out of there. So I'm going to roll for morale. I need to roll a 5 or less. Good. I'm going to do movement now. Actually, I should have told you I was going to do a
Yes.
retreat move.
Oh, okay, that's no problem, because you also, I think, don't you also get the, while you retreat move, I'm going to go look at just rule for a second.
Okay.
You can go ahead and mark that again with a decoy, if you want to.
You can always use an extra +1.
Yep.
Okay, it is your initiative. That weapon team's got some nice firepower to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to open with. I'm going to roll. Well, it's a 10, so I can make the shot. So I'm going to take a shot into that H8 tree line. So I'm rolling for under 8 with my firepower, but there's the +1 I think for the trees. So I'm trying to roll a 7 or less.
Okay.
Okay. And of course I rolled a 9. Which will mark them used. Okay, I'm going to go ahead for my second action from my second operations. And I'm actually going to fire that front unit up in D8 in the building, and they're going to fire across the road at the squad you've got across the road. So they've got a morale of 10, so they can automatically do the fire. And I'm rolling for a 6, and the wooden building, which I think is a 1, so I'm rolling at a 5, I think.
Where are you shooting to? E6?
No, directly sort of kitty corner across the road through E8 into F7.
Like so?
That's the one.
Okay.
And the roll of 5 actually gives me 1 suppression on you. And you know what? That's 2 of my units used, and I'm going to fire the weapons team and try to bring up another weapons team. So you can go ahead next.
Okay, I'm going to try for a move order on that unit that you just suppressed. It's going to be a route move.
Anything but a 10.
And we're good. Anything?
No, you can go ahead. I don't think I've got a decent line of sight on you. I might have from that one, but you're going to be out of my range anyway, so go ahead and keep moving.
Now you've got final op fire from the bottom left unit there in my town. If you want.
No, you can keep going.
Okay, that's 1.
Yeah, and again, you can mark him as concealed again if you want. He's out of line of sight, I think. Actually, let me check line of sight. 1 sec.
Okay.
What do you make of that?
Looks like a shot to me.
Well, I wasn't concerned about shot so much as line of sight. I don't know what I believe it's if you pass through a hex. So I'm thinking that front church hex E6. If it touches any part of the actual terrain inside it on both sides, it's counted as hidden. But I'm not passing. I'm passing sort of in front of the church.
Yep.
So I don't think you can put a decoy on that one.
Okay. Okay, your turn.
Okay, I'm just making a roll to see whether I can actually do what I want to do. And I can, so I'm going to open fire with... Oh, I'll have to show you which unit I opened fire because I just successfully opened fire. I'm firing up into H8, and I'm going for a 5 or a 4. Hang on one second.
So it's 9
It's a
minus
4.
2 is 7, minus 2 is 5, right?
Well, I just made the roll to just to see whether I could fire. So I believe I'm going for my firepower of 6 minus 1. Or sorry, I'm going to roll +1 for you being in the woods and +1 for you being concealed. I got to keep thinking about it as positive numbers here. So hang on. So that's a 5, which is under my 6. So I hit that decoy concealed unit in the woods in H8.
And it was a decoy.
Okay, now, and wait a second, is this only, oh, that was only my first unit, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move the unit down to the left in G2. You'll see him start moving, and you won't have line of sight until I hit those woods, I don't think. That's 1, 2, 3,
Okay, at
4,
H9,
5.
let's see. At H9, I'm going to take opportunity fire with my unit in D8. So rolling for morale, or proficiency, which since it's an opportunity fire, so it's 8 or less.
Sorry, D8? Hang on one sec.
I'm sorry?
Which unit are you firing with?
D8.
That's my guy. Now...
Nope, I'm good.
So that's 2 units used. So I'm going to actually, you know what? I am going to move a 3rd unit as well. Hang on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And that's my first 3, so you can go ahead.
Okay, in the back of the church, I'm going to roll for morale for movement. Pass.
Okay, by the way, the unit that's in H1 that I now got on top, that used unit, you don't have line of sight to anymore, do you?
I do not.
Good enough.
One. Two. And stopping.
You know, I don't have any, oh, he's stopping there, is he? Shoot, I can actually check for line of fire because my unit's already used. Hold on. No, it's blocked.
That's what I was hoping for. Probably
about,
I should have. I probably should have done an assault move and at least attempted so I could check that line of sight, but I was pretty sure it was blocked.
Yeah, it's blocked by about 2 feet of that corner of that house, which I'm pretty sure that American squad would blow off in an attempt to shoot you. But we'll play it like the rules. Now, I also don't believe my weapons team down in that house can be seen anymore. Not mistaken. Nope.
Be rolling for morale. He's good. Let's see. One. Two.
Yeah, keep going.
Three.
Yeah, I've got nothing that can shoot at you there.
And stopping.
Is that your ops range for this turn?
Yeah, I'm done. One thing I do like about the command points being only used on your turn. You know how on some games you have that initiative card that passes back and forth and stuff? I like it where it can only affect your own rolls. So if you get a really good roll, I couldn't use that against you and stuff.
Yeah, the idea that you've got these things in reserve, but they can only be used, you know, for a single unit as well. Like you can't say, okay, I'm going to try that unit, failed the proficiency, I'm going to use a command point. Oh, I did it again, I'm going to do it again. You can only try once for a unit. That also adds a little bit of tension because if you fail that command point, you've both used it and that unit's done. Okay, so I'm going to roll. I'm going to just do a. Actually, no, he is able to fire automatically. So I'm going to reveal a unit that's firing again straight up from B1 through to B6. So from the left edge of the hedgerow up into that building again.
Okay.
No, 10's a failure.
Now, why is 10 a failure there? Oh, you were doing a fire.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And 10's always a failure on a fire anyway. I'm going to try the unit, the line reduced unit over to its right, same shot. And 7 isn't going to work either because, 7 plus 1 for the building, plus 1 for the decoys. 8, going for a 6, I didn't make it.
One thing that kind of throws me is when to count in for the building and when to count in for the morale.
Yeah, it's that Jim mentioned several times, both in the rules and on the forums. One of those things that many of us have to get over in our heads, that the morale is the check for the it's not you taking the morale, it's always me making sure I can actually do what I want to do. And the only time morale comes into play when I'm firing at you is when you decide you're going to get that unit moving or something.
Now, to me, the building and the decoy would be negative impacts against your fire roll and not the morale. But your ability of the unit to be able to do something should be a 9 to me. Or a 9 minus 2, the proficiency, a 7.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I actually didn't roll. Sorry about that. I actually didn't roll. I made a mistake there. I did not roll to actually check to see whether I fired. I beg your pardon. I was just looking at it as a 10 again. That 10 that I rolled was for the fire from the first unit, which obviously fails anyway. That 7, if you want me to, is technically the roll to make sure I can fire. That's not the roll for my firepower roll of trying to get under 6 with your decoy and your thing. So do you want me to take that, or you just want to let that one ride and say that 7 shot missed because I was shooting for a 4?
No, I was taking the 7 as a morale check, which is 9 minus your proficiency of 2, which makes a 7. So you made your proficiency.
Well, it's actually not even. It's just a standard morale roll. Anytime you're moving, firing, or routing, is just a standard proficiency, standard morale roll. Wait a second.
Okay, that's exactly what I thought, and it just kind of threw me off when you said you didn't make it.
Okay, I just need 30 seconds to step away from the computer. I'll be right back.
Okay. So on a move, fire, or a route, it's just a straight up morale check. Unless you're doing a retreat, which adds +4. And then if he declares an assault, an op fire, or final op fire, then you take out the proficiency.